I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And I was going to do a lesson today because the Spirit jumped on me. I was just kind of thinking in my head, I have plenty of time today to do my lesson. I don't have to work. So it's always nice when brothers don't have to work and you can just spend time on a lesson and you don't have to rush through anything. And I was going to read the scriptures. And then I remember today's actually the pagan holiday Easter, right? And I actually, just what reminded me was I'm dealing with this woman, from the past that I know her from the past, never dealt with her, never got with her, but ran into her and whatnot. So we've been texting here and there lately, and this morning I get a text from her and she sends me a picture of Cesare Borgia and it says he is risen, and it just shows you the darkness that our people are in. It shows you the lack of knowledge our people have. They might have a zeal, but it's not according to knowledge, like it tells you in Romans 10, the second verse. So, it provoked me to say, okay, there's the topic. I can do a topic on Easter, right? There's my lesson, right? So I just started looking at stuff online, and this comes up right here. It says, who was Ishtar, and is there any connection between Ishtar and Easter? And Ishtar, let's read it. Ishtar was an ancient Mesopotamian goddess of war, fertility, and sex. All right, and let me stop right there. So this is where they get the Easter eggs and the bunnies and shit, because there's a saying in the world that says fucking like rabbits, and what it is if you don't know, rabbits are like, they're constantly fucking, so one of the symbols of this Ishtar, which that's where they get the word Easter from, is it says she's a sex goddess, you see. So they use the symbolism in these pagan worships. That's why they use the bunny and the eggs, because eggs, what do they represent? Fertility. And rabbits are synonymous with sex, because rabbits are they're constantly fucking, man. You can start out with a couple rabbits, and by the time you know it, you got all kind of rabbits. My uncle used to have some rabbits, and they reproduce very fast. But anyway, let's keep reading this. Ishtar was an ancient Mesopotamian goddess of war, fertility, and sex. And when you look at that word Mesopotamia, it's actually a region. All right, so Babylon was actually in Mesopotamia. All right, so not only was she a Mesopotamian goddess, she was also a goddess of ancient Babylon. All right, so it says she was a goddess of war, fertility, and sex. She is featured in the Epic of Gilgamesh, and the Ishtar Gate was part of Nebuchadnezzar's Babylon. Her worship involved animal sacrifices, objects made of her sacred stone, lapis lazuli, and temple prostitution. See this? So this is all heathen worship, heathenistic behavior, pagan worship. Says some people claim there exists a connection between Ishtar and Easter. A popular meme has been circulated the internet making that very claim. Superimposed over an image of Ishtar are these words. This is Ishtar, pronounced Easter. Easter was originally the celebration of Ishtar, the Syrian and Babylonian goddess of fertility and sex. Her symbols, like the egg and the bunny, were and still are fertility and sex symbols. Alright, so let's jump down. After Constantine decided to Christianize the empire, Easter was changed to represent Jesus, right? In which that's supposed to be Yahawah. But again, this is all pagan shit that we're reading. But at its roots, Easter is all about celebrating fertility and sex. All right, so we got that out of the way. Let me see if I can get some more stuff here. Let's see. She has another name. Ishtar, also known as Inanna in Sumerian, was a prominent goddess, in Mesopotamian mythology, primarily associated with love, war, beauty, and fertility. She was a powerful figure, revered for her dual nature, a nurturing goddess of life and a fierce warrior. All right. Let's read influence on other cultures. Because, these are all pagan deities, pagan idols. And if you read here on influence on other cultures, it says Ishtar's influence extended beyond Mesopotamia, shaping cultural archetypes and potentially contributing to the development of figures like Aphrodite. See, so she's Aphrodite, she's Venus. Let me look these up real quick. So Aphrodite was a Greek goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and procreation, right? And then the Roman version would have been Venus, right? Let's read it right here. In Babylonian astrology, Ishtar was closely linked to the planet Venus, representing both the morning and evening star, which may reflect her duality as a goddess of love and war. But excuse me. Basically, when you go into this, Venus, because the Greeks and the Romans, they had counterparts with their gods and goddesses. You had the Greek names and the Roman names, they were changed, right? And it jumps all the way back to to this time. Jumps all the way forward to this time, I should say. Because basically, it's all dealing with the same woman worship, right? Whether it be from ancient Egypt to the Babylonian Empire, to the Greek Empire, to the Roman Empire, and now to the American Empire, right? The spiritual Egypt, ancient, or also known as the daughter of Babylon, America. This is all basically woman worship, and that's why it goes back to the Queen of Heaven, all right? And we're in the prophet Jeremiah, which we're going to go into Jeremiah today, because the prophet Jeremiah goes into, rebuking the Israelites for for this pagan worship, for fucking with the Queen of Heaven. All right, and even the Mary, as in the Mary, the mother of Yahawah, they associate her in all this madness. All right. But at the end of the day, you're not to worship the Queen of Heaven, or you're not to dedicate a whole day and celebrate the Queen of Heaven. All right, as we're about to read. See, and these are all good things to read here. It says, how did Ishtar become Aphrodite? The Babylonian Ishtar, originally an adaptation of the Sumerian Inanna. All right, so Inanna is the predecessor for Ishtar. Ishtar was the predecessor of Aphrodite. Aphrodite was the predecessor of Venus. Venus was the predecessor of they started, Mary. They also call Mary, Yahawah's mother, the Queen of Heaven. All right. It says, Babylonian Ishtar, originally an adaptation of the Sumerian Inanna, spread to Phoenicia, where she became Astarte. This Phoenician Astarte was later spread to the Aegean, originally in southern Greece, and especially in Sparta, where she became Aphrodite. You see? Let's see. Just kind of seeing what other information we can dig out on this. All right, so let's read a little bit about Inanna. It says, Inanna, the ancient Mesopotamian goddess of war, love, and fertility. She also associated with political power, divine law, sensuality, and procreation, worshipped in Sumer. She was known by the Akkadian Empire, Babylonians, and Assyrians as Ishtar. Her primary title is the Queen of Heaven. All right? So now we've established who the Queen of Heaven is, and this all goes back to woman worship, all right? And we are to worship Yahawah Bahashim Yahawah, all right? We're not supposed to setting days apart to worship any woman or any female deity, like we've been reading. And let's get some scriptures. I think that's enough information on all this stuff. But you get the point. This is okay. Here you go. Here's a nice little equivalence. It says, the Canaanite was Astarte, the Greeks Aphrodite, the Romans Venus, Elamite Piniker, Hurrian Shashka, Mandaean Libat, and Egyptian Isis. You see that? So these are all different empires, different captivities that we've been in, where our people have been subject unto the worship of these pagan female deities, aka queens of heaven. All right. So we're not to take part in this type of stuff. Like, if this is we're on the last days, and this is basically what is it, 2025, and you're still into this pagan shit. You're teaching your kids all this pagan stuff. The Most High is gonna deal with you, man. So without further ado, I'm going to just go ahead and we're done with all that. Let's get the scriptures. We're going to go to Jeremiah 44 and let's see how the prophet Jeremiah thought about the Queen of Heaven. All right. It says in Jeremiah 44, the word that came to Jeremiah concerning all the Jews which dwell in the land of Egypt, which dwell in Migdol, in Taphanes, and at Noph, and in the country of Pathros, saying, all right, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the power of Israel, ye have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, and upon all the cities of Judah, and behold, this day they are a desolation, and no man dwelleth therein, because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, in that they went to burn incense to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they, ye, nor your fathers. All right, so these are all gods that when the laws were set up, when Moses gave us the 10 commandments, in which there's actually 613 commandments, but when we got all the laws, our fathers, the righteous ones, were worshiping Yahawah Bahashem Yahushai. They weren't worshiping any pagan deities, pagan idols, queens of heaven, none of that shit. All right, we weren't doing that. That's straight wickedness. We go to Exodus 20, and I think it's 3. It says, yeah, that's the first commandment. It says, thou shalt have no other gods before me, or powers. Thou shalt have no other powers before me, right? So that's plain. There's no gray area right there. It tells you, thou shalt not have no other powers before me. Okay? Let's read till 5. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So no graven images. When you look at all those pagan deities, you saw that they were graven images. You had women, goddesses carved out of clay, carved out of the earth. Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahawah, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. See that? So Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, hey, is gonna visit your peeps from the 3rd and 4th generation of those that hate him. And if you celebrating all these pagan deities, pagan idols, pagan worship, well, guess what? You hate Yahawah Bahashem Yahushai, because we have a power. We have the Father and the Son. Those are our powers. That's who we should worship. Yahawah Bahashem Yahushai. Anything outside of that, Yahawah Bahashem Yahushai hates that. Right? Let me read 3 again. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. All right, that's plain and simple. No gray areas. All right? Let's go back to Jeremiah 44. It says in verse 4, howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. And what's he talking about? He's talking about burning incense to these other gods. Burning incense literally means, your any type of action that you choose when you're committed or serving another god or another power outside of your true powers, Yahawah Bahashem Yahushai. All right? So it says, howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. And he sent his prophets in each age, in each generation. Jeremiah is fixing to rebuke the Israelites in his time. We're rebuking you Israelites in this time. And look at the time, 11:44. Call Allah Yahawah Bashem Yashai. Cool. So hey, You Israelites who want to stay committed to serving and worshiping these pagan idols, you want to take part in Easter, you want to take part in Christmas, you want to take part in all these wicked ass holidays, you're celebrating your birthdays and shit like that. The Most High, Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, going to deal with you. It's not going to be nothing nice. Let's read verse 5. But they hearken not, just like in this generation. Our people don't listen. They don't listen to you tell them that, hey, this stuff is idolatry, this stuff is pagan, this stuff is against Yahawah Bashem Yahushai. Literally, these are things that they hate. Yahawah Bashem Yahushai hates Easter, okay? So let's keep reading. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day. All right, you see that? And the Most High is going to do the same thing again. He's going to pour forth his wrath on you two-thirds that still want to, you want to get down with all the pagan idolatry, all the pagan worship. You're gonna be like today, you hiding eggs for your fucking kids. Guess what? You're burning incense to gods that you're not supposed to serve. You want to buy your kids an Easter basket. You want to buy your dress up like an Easter bunny today and run around like a fucking childish idiot. Well, guess what? You're burning incense to idolatry, to deities that were never, our forefathers never served these deities. The forefathers that were in the right mindset, I should say, because you had Israelites going off throughout history. You had the two-thirds. Those spirits are also regenerated, reincarnated, just like the righteous. All right. Verse 7. Therefore now thus saith Yahawah Bashem Yahushai, the power of hosts, the power of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls. So you're creating a huge evil against your own soul. To cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling out of Judah, to leave you none to remain. Right. And you can see how hot this pisses Yahawah Bashem Yahushai off. You straight up piss Yahawah Bashem Yahushai off when you're an Israelite and you out there doing the heathen shit. Especially when you have the prophets on the street corners putting you in your right mindset. You don't hearken, you don't listen. In that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt. And this is spiritual Egypt. And you motherfuckers, I know right up the street, they got a little park and they have this big ass Easter egg hunt tradition. I've seen it through the years. Motherfuckers, they put fucking thousands of eggs on the fucking park grass. And they got a little ribbon. They put all the kids behind the ribbon, and then somebody cuts the ribbon, and then the little motherfuckers go hog wild. You know what I'm saying? They just go and picking up all the eggs, and this is what you're doing. You're burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, and this is spiritual Egypt. You motherfuckers are still doing the same bullshit, and you're going to be dealt with. You don't want to listen to his prophets. We're telling you this is an abominable thing. And you're just dismissing, it's for the kids, it ain't for me. Well, you're teaching, you're basically sacrificing your kids unto devils when you do these things. And you might take it light and think it's not a no big deal, but Yahawah Bashem Yahushai hates fucking Easter, all right? Whither ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. And you are ashamed. You're ashamed. You know what? The heathen, these fucking so-called Chinese, these so-called Arabs, these so-called Hamites, Africans, let them do that shit. That's their lot. They're heathen. But you Israelites, you're supposed to be in your right mindset. You're supposed to know when to say when. You're supposed to, this is the last days. You're supposed to done woke up, realize you're an Israelite, and fucking cut off all this pagan, pagan worship. Pagan, you don't commit yourself to pagan gods, all right? You don't commit yourself to pagan idols. Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? And the answer is yes, you motherfuckers have forgotten the wickedness of your fathers. You forgot the wickedness of the 2/3 from the ancient times. Because you're still doing it. Matter of fact, you are them same fucking wicked ass spirits, those wicked ass souls that are reincarnated, regenerated, came back to spiritual Egypt through reincarnation, and here you are doing the same wicked shit you were doing in Babylon. You see? And the Lord has set up his prophets rising early, telling you not to do this abominable thing that he hates. All right. Instead, you look at us like we're devils. We're assholes because we're telling you to stop worshiping pagan bullshit. You look at us like we're your enemy. That's all right though. That's all right. You're gonna end up paying for it. Let's see, verse 11. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil and cut off all Judah. And you got to know World War III is right around the corner. Do you think you're going to have salvation if you're sitting here fucking, hiding eggs for your kids? If you're dressing up as a fucking Easter bunny, you're dyeing the eggs, You're fucking out of your mind. You think it's not a big deal? Hey, you're just a pagan, wicked-ass 2/3 spirit. The Most High is going to cut you off. And when I say cut you off, it's going to be by feast, famine, sword, destruction, the missiles, the chariots. We're closely approaching World War III. This is not the time to be sitting here fucking around and dyeing eggs and hiding them for your kids, And it's not just Easter. It's all the fucking pagan holidays that you fucking Israelites don't want to let go of. You see? It says in verse 12, and I will take the remnant of Judah and that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, and they shall all be consumed, and they shall fall in the land of Egypt. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by famine. They shall die from the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine, and they shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach. And this is what's coming to you Israelites who remain in the mindset of the heathen. You love the customs of the heathen. Matter of fact, let's get Jeremiah 10. What's that say? Hear ye the word which Yahawah speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen. Let me read that again. It says, thus saith Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen. All right, I showed you that Ishtar, Inanna, Venus, Aphrodite, these are all heathen, queen of heavens, and you're not supposed to partake in this bullshit. All right? And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Right? So you're not, the point being, don't learn the way of the fucking heathen, man. And you don't have an excuse anymore. The Lord set up his teachers. The Lord set up his prophets. We out here. You don't have an excuse, all right? Isaiah 20 and 30 and 20. You don't have an excuse. Isaiah 30:20. And though Yahawah give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner any more, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. All right? So you see your teachers. You see us on the street corners. You see us on the videos. You see us on the lessons. You see us on the internet. Sometimes you see us on the news, when Esau's tried to demonize us. But the point being is you don't have an excuse. There's no excuse for fucking celebrating Easter in 2025. All right? I know everybody has already came across the prophets in some capacity. Everybody has already seen the Lord's true teachers on the internet, on TikTok, on wherever the Lord has brought the Spirit, to where you've seen your teachers. You're not going to be what's the word? You're not going to be what's the word I'm looking for? You're not going to be pardoned. You're not going to be dismissed from your doings. You're gonna pay for the wickedness that you do. And you might think it's wicked, that it's wicked, that it's not wicked to color eggs, hide them and shit, and this and that. No, but you're literally taking a whole day out of taking that time, a whole day to worship and honor pagan deities that have been wicked since the beginning. And most of you people are going to learn the hard way. You're going to learn it by death, by pain, according to the scriptures. Because you didn't listen to his servants, the prophets. You didn't listen to the Lord's mouth. You blew it off like it was no big deal. We're here blowing the trumpet, and then you don't hearken. You don't listen. You just ignore the trumpet that's being blown in your ear, in your face. And because of that, you're going to pay severely. And how do we know? Because we know the prophecies. We know the prophecies are coming. You think you're going to have a hedge around you during Jacob's trouble when the whole time you were fucking taking part in all these fucking rituals, these abominations, you're going to get, when the plagues hit hard, you're not going to be protected. Let's read Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High Yahawah hath remembered her iniquities. You see that? So we're telling you, come out of her, my people. Part of coming out of her, my people, deals with you dismissing these pagan holidays. You don't worship the fucking Queen of Heaven today. And that's what you motherfuckers are doing. You 2/3, you're doing. The heathen, let them do it. That's their lot. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. That's their shit. But you Israelites, this is not your deal. You need to do what it says right here. Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. See, you motherfuckers are not going to listen. You're going to receive the plagues. And what are those plagues going to be? The sword, famine, the missiles, the chariots burning you up. Those are going to be the plagues that you're going to receive because you failed to listen to the Lord's servants, the prophets. You failed continually to hearken unto the servants, the prophets, telling you that this is an abominable thing that Yahawah Bashem Yahushai hates. All right? Jeremiah 44, and we're going to go to 13. It says, For I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt. And remember, this is spiritual Egypt. As I have punished Jerusalem by the sword and by the famine and by the pestilence, so that none of the remnant of Judah which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there, for none shall return but such as shall escape. And yeah, this is dealing with ancient Egypt and in Babylon, ancient Babylon. But you have to understand the prophecy that's coming now is the same thing. You're gonna be destroyed for your wickedness, and your wickedness deals with you taking a day to worship a false pagan idol. All right. In the form of Ishtar, in the form of Easter, in the form of Venus, in the form of the Queen of Heaven, in the form of Aphrodite, all these different fucking pagan idols which the heathen has set up. All right, verse 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, and so you had men, and they knew their wives were doing this wicked shit, that they were, you have husbands now here in spiritual Egypt that are like, oh yeah, it's just for the kids. My wife's gonna dye the eggs with the kids and then hide them, and this is what we're looking at right here, the same shit that Jeremiah was seeing. It says in verse 16, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yahawah, we will not hearken unto thee. And what do these women say? I know you're telling us in the name of Yahawah that you ain't supposed to be doing this. And again, another Queen of Heaven, Queen of Heaven, a.k.a. Semiramis, Ishtar, Aphrodite, Venus, Mary, right? As in the Virgin Mary. She's also known as the Queen of Heaven. And you're not to worship these deities. And what are these women saying? We're not going to hearken unto thee, meaning we're not going to listen to you. I know you're coming in the name of Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai, but guess what? We're not going to listen to you. That's what they're saying here. Verse 17. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven. All right? And this is the stubbornness and the hard-headedness and the stiff-necked people that we have, especially these women, because Babylon has given you so much liberty that you've taken that rope and hung yourself with it, right? Because this is how the women act right now. You trying to tell them, oh, hey, baby, we ain't supposed to be doing this stuff, baby. We ain't gonna be hiding no eggs this year. Bullshit. We're gonna do what we always do. That's the mindset of these wicked ass women, and they love woman worship. They're in the same spirit. They want to be worshipped. You see? Our women want to be worshipped, just like the Queen of Heaven. And a lot of these wicked ass women, they're going to be destroyed. And they're not going to, take heed. They're not going to hearken. They're not going to listen to you. Just like they did right here in Jeremiah 44. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem. For then we had plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. See, so they're like, oh, we've been doing this for years, and then no bad thing happened to us. You see? And that's the same attitude they have right now. They're in the attitude where, oh, they ain't nothing gonna happen just because I hide some eggs. Ain't nothing gonna happen just because I dye the eggs for the kids. I'm gonna dress up like an Easter bunny and go out in the backyard and play with the kids and shit. They ain't nothing ever evil happen to us. Evil means bad times, right? And victuals, that's like food. We've had plenty of food. Plenty of provisions. Let's read 18. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. And when we burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and remember, burning incense to the Queen of Heaven is a metaphor for everything you're out here doing today for your little pagan Easter holiday. Hiding the eggs, dyeing the eggs, dressing up like the Easter bunny, buying them baskets, buying them candy, buying them all kinds of shit, And we have burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her. Did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? Then Jeremiah said unto all, and see, these women, they'll do this shit behind your back. They be hiding the fucking Easter eggs, hiding the Easter candy, hiding all that shit. Verse 20. Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, to all the people which had given him the answer, saying, the incense that ye burned in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes and the people of the land did not Yahawah remember them, and came it not into his mind, so that Yahawah could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which ye have committed. Therefore is your land a desolation and astonishment, and a curse without an inhabitant, as at this day. So he's reminding them, don't you remember that, hey, Jerusalem got taken by the Babylonians? The reason why you're over here, worshiping and doing all this wickedness in Babylon is because you got swept out of your own land. You got swept out of your own sanctuary. Because that's what happened to them. And that's how stubborn our people are. Bad things could happen to them. And a little time passes. Next thing you know, there are people that are doing the same wicked shit they were doing. When Yahawah already brought some type of judgment on them. Then, they go on off and end up, doing more wickedness right after the judgment sets. That's how stubborn our people are. It says, because ye have burned incense, and because ye have sinned against Yahawah, and have not obeyed the voice of Yahawah, that's which are his prophets, nor walked in his law, nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies, therefore this evil is happened unto you as at this day. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and to all the women, hear the word of Yahawah, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. All right? So there it is. All the women, all the men, you need to listen up, Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, the power of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths, and fulfilled with your hand, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. You will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. So Jeremiah's like, all right, y'all done already, you answered me. You said you're going to keep doing your wickedness, you keep doing your abomination, keep with your wicked vows. Right? Verse 23. Therefore hear ye the word of Yahawah, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. Behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith Yahawah, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt, saying, Yahawah the Most High liveth. All right? So basically, this was a part of the time when he took the names of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai out their mouths. Right? Because they were so wicked, he said, you know what? I'm going to really fuck you over. I'm going to take him the name away from you. And look at us, look at our people today. They don't know the names of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. They're too busy calling on Cracker Jesus, right? You see, all this stuff is prophecy, man. The Lord's servants, the prophets, we can break this stuff down because the Lord's put a spirit on us to break this stuff down and to teach, the Israelites. But we know and we understand that only a portion of our people, the 1/3, the remnant, the elect, they're going to be the only ones to listen to us. It's always been the same, in every age. You're basically during the Babylonian age, ancient Babylon. And you had Jeremiah rebuking the Israelites, and they refused to listen, right? Let's read 27. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine until there be an end of them. You see that? So Jeremiah, because Yahawah used Jeremiah to rebuke the Israelites, and they refused to listen. So Yahweh's like, all right, I got you. He tells through the mouth, through the prophets, because Yahweh's not going to speak to you Israelites personally or one-on-one. He's not going to come off his throne and talk to you wicked-ass Israelites. No, he's going to put the spirit on his prophets, and we're the mouth of Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai. And that's a stumbling block for a lot of you, because you don't believe that we're the men of the Lord. And that's why not only do you don't believe Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai, you don't believe us, So really, when you don't believe us, at the end of the day, it's because you hate Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai, and you're not in the right mindset. Let's read verse 28. Yet a small number that escaped the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt unto the land of Judah, and the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose word shall stand, mine or theirs. Right, and you're going to know. You're going to learn the hard way. You Israelites that don't want to listen to the Lord's servants, his prophets. And this shall be a sign unto you, saith Yahawah, that I will punish you in this place, that ye may know that my word shall surely stand against you for evil. So you're going to know by pain. You're going to know the hard way, like they say. You're going to learn the hard way. Because, Yahawah is having mercy on you by setting up his teachers to warn you. Those of you that choose to disregard the warning, to ignore the trumpet, right? You're going to be the one that's caught up in death and destruction, okay? Let's see. Let's grab this real quick. 2nd Ezra 9 and 12. It says, okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Verse 2nd Ezra 9 and 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. All right, and you're abusing the ways of Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai when you're, setting aside a day to go and celebrate pagan Easter. All right, it says, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. You don't know Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai. Instead, who do you know? You know Ishtar. You know Inanna. You know Aphrodite. You know Venus. You know the Queen of Heaven. So go ahead. Keep on keeping on with your pagan worship, because what's going to happen is, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and they that have loathed my law, loathed means despise, while you despise the laws of Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai, while they had yet liberty, so you have the freedom to stop doing the wickedness, but you choose not to, when as yet place of repentance was open unto them. So you can repent, you can stop doing it, you can start receiving and worshiping Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai. You have time to repent if you're an Israelite. It says, but when as yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. You see? So you're gonna learn the hard way, is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't want to listen to the Lord's servants. You don't want to listen to Yahawah B'Shem Yoshai. You don't want to listen to the Holy Spirit, which is the scriptures. I'm reading the scriptures to teach you this lesson, and you still ignore it. Well, guess what? You're going to know, the way you're going to find out is death by pain. Okay? This thing is literally deadly serious, man. You want to take it, like take it lightly, and you don't want to, you don't want to hearken, or you don't want to believe. All right, hey, that's on you. All right, Jeremiah 44:29. And this shall be a sign unto you, saith Yahawah, that I will punish you in this place, that ye may know that my word shall surely stand against you for evil. Thus saith Yahawah, behold, I will give Pharaoh Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies, and into the hand of them that seek his life, as I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, unto the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy, and sought his life. So you want to follow these pagan kings, pagan, deities that these pagan kings have set up for you to worship, Because, you had all the motherfuckers, even like J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. J.D. Vance was over at the fucking Vatican yesterday on the time of Easter, Why? Because it's all a ritual. It's all a wicked pagan worship. And they're setting you Israelites up to fail. You have a time to repent. This is a time to repent. And what are you doing with your time? You're fucking dying Easter eggs? So you got to think about that, man. The Most High hates Easter, all right? So with that, I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge Al-Akyam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, and shalom to the elect.